ye kotoaba apaw penia obedi omai we mu for the next 4 years from 2025 January all the way to 2028. Now, say who could take such a decision? I say we nyina so sonko a wo as Ghanania emra ama nkwan se obetumi ato aba na yede yikendi no obegina so na de ato aba for a very long time in this country. Na ye koto aba your opponents, your MPP, your opponents, they don't like to talk about the issues. Omo dia ne say yentungum yemfem room yemfamfra yenkekam futum sa na abato braso edu bebi mpo no amato braso a omo ne na mafiefiem na omo akache ma menom say okọ akoto mabroni no ya ma matches ya ma kerosene no could take a decision a better for about 4 years. No crap. In the past 2 elections, MPP, the New Patriotic Party, Amayuku, position on decision making for elections in this country. They say wo kotoaba, they say wundi entia otoaba ni amanipana otoaba no. Yen ye say between yen the New Patriotic Party any another party ayere ko elections and ayere ko contest. Any ye kendini Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wo de ne toto NDC for kendini former President Mahama ho a obvious say former President Mahama ni so adi ho wo mo my way isa. The motivation to do anything extraordinary for the growth of this country is almost absent because when you kwan be member of parliament, when you kwan be deputy minister, or be the minister, or the vice president, or the president, they are obetumi aye aboa bia no wa ye wie. And so the question is, what else is left? Nkase se oya ontumi aye. Eno nam eno hyehyebo. Na tele bia wotie nsem ni bi waka obisa won se akonwa ya wo pri. Omo a woni omo ko nyina efri PNC, CPP, PPP, DDP, all the political parties, any MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, omo no muko nyina, wo pe, any nipa we nya ho kwan di president pen. Omo kan no bi end president ye. Nti ade na wo san ba ye ho. E be hye ebo, ka kire yen say, ade ye de ma wo say ye no, wan ye ba wo ba obeye. It doesn't add up. I find it very disrespectful. Very, very, very disrespectful to the people of Ghana. Say, obetumi asa nya sa kokodo na bae ho kra se ensanso nto abama no kwase ma wakonya no obu ye nimtia otwe ye die niema ye no kan ye se oba ye maye no wanya amaye. In fact wanya amaye no kra ye se woja ye sa kra keke usan etutufo maye edru baby doctor for nurse for ka kire we se hwomakatu ahun se na bo mo wo se no mpe na obeya de anka mo nto obeti oni omo ni negotiation bia ehiafo ma I call nursing training college, I call teacher training college, omunya bibi, edi shop botom to minya encouragement ko school no. Uji free omunsem. Nurse for ni teacher for year school. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, uji omu tena fie. Omu so a ofa omu no, wa ye adwuma 1 whole year. O se miniska me de betu aka, ntina wetu na 3 months. Ehia forma wie GSS on person ko secondary school. O se me de cut off etwa wo eji we frem. Esa ne se ye ni school dan a ye do betirem omo so a omo ma no nyame adom cut off na nka omo mutumi awurem no school fees ne board ten nto mutumi nko school omo market na fie oman no we ye ne pasa enka ne ndundum ye for 3 years na Ghana e de so mu ye nya kane Monday a ne ye dum no addiction Tuesday a ye be so a it's a Thursday and a Friday in the week of 5 days no ye nya kane 1 day ye ti ye na nya 2 days dia ka nyina ne edum kanea enwuma guye enkrofo ebusuafo no momba ehwe omo nkwa e wo hospitals sambre ne mukura na kanea na odundum no na wasanso ato kanea ne bo so e kanea wo ka kire yen se ye hwe na ne bo odin a e me charge yen phones edu bebe no waban penifo ka kire se ye hwe na se kitchen ana se mukana se ayehia mayen ya yempie mfrim emrante ne maba enya ndwuma anye no omusu frɛ wo no wo ene wo mpanimfo ka kyerɛ mo sɛ ɔmo nkɔ room na ɔmo kɔ sɛ bo ɔmo begu kwan ho na ɔmo ntɔn mpo ɔmo ɛbɛyɛ a ɔmo kɔtwa grass na ɔmo fa grass no begu kwan ho na mpanimfo bɛtɔ eduru baabi no wofa ɔman ne sika sɛ wode kwakɔ yɛn confirm na mmeranteɛ ne mmaba anya bi ayɛ mbrɛ so yɛ sɛ yɛpɛ sɛ yɛhu baabi an confirm no wɔ no wɔsɛ confirm ne tu ayira ɛkɔ Burkina Faso. You put this country through pain and torture. Na there ya enye se ebi ohaw ne abebrese ba yo ekwan ya ohaw ne abebrese ne ba ye no ode ye fa so no enu nti ene ma ne ye ya se wo sanso ba ye wo se ye sanso to aba mo ye gitum ohaw ne amane de wo ye kendini obetumi hie bi na mum ensonsone e wo kendifo papa ene kendini bone ho te se former president Mahama ne se kendini bone te se former president Mahama ohaw ne abebrese ba wo se minti obia enye de awoka na mitie ɔsɛ wonye ɔmampanin da emenka masɛm eduru baby krampo no ɔsɛ waye odwanfu no today the same person comes back to us and said we should vote for him okasi ento obama no so no yenso oka bibi pot ya chen ahye nkran ama yeni daso bi o onenam kwanchen entro ne nkontompo kasa a nokre nim de se nokre na okeka che riding on the emotions of the people na wo kana obisa na wo se o abato de emre du a ye can throw kakra na ye can okre kakra na ye the frame say be benya vote ono ane no muton. The former president said that we in the MPP believes that esa wo to aba unya nyina so to aba ma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because ye gidi say na ni so adin hu ne da so wo ma oman we no esokra sen omo ne omo kwa akensie no ye gidi say na ho fama ene na ho keka na ye kwan ofa so de obuo ne Ghana ni bia di nsanwoso e kan ye bom e driving you towards the development of this country no ye gidi say e hye nkran ye gidi say e kwai ofa so a ene yentumi nka se nioma nyina ye pepe prekope enso dodo na yetumi ye no oni ye di hu nkomo kye se aha na yetumi aba bedru ye mo ho ban we de megitum saka akra se yetumi ye yenye ndru ho ye na oboabo ya no a o kye yen se we can be whatever it is that we want to be if we put ourselves together as a people. That is a leader you can trust. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a leader you can have confidence in. With your mampeni abediche e kwai ofa so a wabɔ no homode aso mampeni abediche wo do toto o mampeni dada John Dramani Mahama embra no ya abediche mu a ensoso no bebre wo mu. In fact, there is a video next week mebo amahwe o mampeni dada John Dramani Mahama spokesperson tamano ye vice president ye bisa ne say wo boss na dwuma pon ye wabe mu ene say osu on de okọ social functions okọ speech and prize giving day okọ anniversaries and more mampeni. That is what was said about the former president. Empo yanhwe no wo san by hot 22 of catch and say wo de wo spare driver. He said it okaso ye spare driver in 2016 IEA debate on mampeni John Dramani Mahama catch so de your spare driver think be ya yento abama no me the main driver no share ye bo bebre ondi ba kompo so o de yakayaka de no de share meko no de share ni eneyi nyoma bebre na ban yi ba yetumi aye dodo na so na aka yenyanyen wie ampa school nsem ya pegem yen ayare sam nsem ya pegem ya kwan ya pegem ya railways ya airport nsem ya pegem wokọ ye nuanom ne ye maame no mo mpo no ye fisheries ene coastal areas landing sites no man ya pegem nyoma bebre na ban eguso a ye ba dodo na aka sese ye ene me no kase wo hwe de ekoso wiase afa na nyina utumi se wiase afa na nyina adwodie nsem ne sikasebro atosin kakra ene na mekan de ekoso Nigeria you say naira the worst currency in the world. US 3 days ago omo ye interview omo ankasa America fo ankasa no muton kase COVID any Russia Ukraine dey how man no American president ebie na no e kasa same way. United Kingdom UK ye ankasa ye busuafo UK for in the year 2022 within 6 months no master prime ministers be mienu anamiensa because everywhere in the world we're going through difficulties and challenges and na nado danko ekufa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia aboaboa no pia kakra in the midst of all the difficulties and challenges ye faga na fomba wonwumem in the midst of all the difficulties and challenges ya kwan sen aban ya abetwem nyina in the 8 years in the midst of all the difficulties and challenges you're making sure say here for near sika for me to me rescue them ako school difficulties via anywhere in the midst of difficulties and challenges, we are making sure that every single public sector worker is being paid when they are supposed to be paid. That is the biggest difference between Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NPP government versus John Mahama and the NDC government. John Mahama, His Excellency, and the NDC government. It's a big difference. The Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can say, the ayano, yambo humbai. Na the aka yenya yeno. Yina yenka yenhumbom. Na yenfo mining shenesa. Nombwaye. Na yentu bimpem. Enko yenum. This is the next chapter show. Ene. Yebedi industrialization. Infidi juma ehon komo. A crime baimpo. And industrialization. Itumi faso. E affect ye. Asomai. In the next 1 hour, I'll crave your indulgence. So obe kame home near to one commodity. So yebe we and commodity no. You'll see the difference between the MPP and the NDC. Why in the ban of industries, any infidel juma, any acquire befaso ye be ye mining na embrante and meba in juma ya. Why and otumi ebon home day. Aha, no crem kwane eka. Baby a summon down kwane edeto. Yen chantro, yen kasentia penibia. Yen kasa embu penibia enemutia. Yen kasa basa ewa the next chapter show so. Fact only. No gimmicks. Woba ebe share Ghana and the yes yafa ne nyina ye kind industrialization ne industries a. The key thing ne say wo your mind na sa wo ka say wonko a wo tena obe bi na wabo bra, it's almost impossible. Nti ukoso ba fam oni aman bedi nkomo oni aman bedi dwa ne ade nti de wo no wo de mo oman foforo no no so etua oka na sika no de tua oka no nso de akọ oman foforo so na de awuhia wuni no wakwakoto efisa oman no ho. Nti it's understandable, it's quite understandable say ye wo oman bi because ne oman de ne fide adwuma mu nsem nkoyie okra ne ama bebre. Ghana we are highly an import dependent country. Let's just say oman no ye nema bebre na ye krefi abuchire bebre na ye krefi abuchire enu nti and I'm running a campaign in 2016. I say no. The fundamentals of the economy is weak, and the fundamentals of the economy mean say what the how no will be bia wo krebia fia brochire eba on mine mua. Basically, what you are doing is say embre bia no on mine na wo kra woni o free ho no bibi ka o pe ebebe ka because wo no just wo dan mo just wa komo no wa kwaji bibi free ho ba. Enti mo be kaya right from independence between embra. Now, yeah, man, penny di can buy a lot of industrial drive. In fact, at the time, you free independence. I bet somewhere in 1988. Oh, my way, no. Now, Ghana is one of the most industrialized countries you can find in West Africa, maybe Africa. In this country, Ghana here. Why? Because now the country wanted to ensure, say, yeah, self-sufficient, and I say, yeah, self-sustaining. Because if you don't do that, what it means is that embre bia no oni a mind foforo na e dele wo pe sa o mind ni sika na ade na akodiga and ehun sunsanso na bebre. I'll show you. For example, Ghana ye niama ye krefi Ghana ha ko Turkey about $98.4 million, but the ye krefi Turkey eba Ghana about 421 million. Ye top pasta chidin cry talia ana ye to e free dodo na ye to free Turkey insulated wire ye to iron structures ye to iron blocks if you ho e be free Turkey ye to esichire if you ho ye to chocolate if you ho ye crass cement e be free Turkey wheat seed oil mixed mineral chemicals normal be na dey free Turkey about 421 million. The change na say empem bia sa nneoma ye free Turkey e be san wo my way mu no e se yesan ko to be free Turkey ne de ba but Turkey omun DCD eso oman no niema na ye kra ba ye na ye beton ye no ye DCD ne di dwa enti nipa na okra pasta e free Turkey ba Ghana no obedu Ghana ha no ye to no CD ene ye DCD tua ne ka niema na sa eso san so ko Turkey no ko fe bi ba miwa oni sa Turkey fo sika na omudi ni bi because ye na ye di dwa enti Turkey fo say o beto de ye free ye ho na o free Ghana de a ene all the dollars in e be den e be kra aba because ye ngi seed no enti the oton pasta no seed na wo call the shop no ko toy no o be keksa ni nyina into dollars enti okra seed bebre opese okoto pasta biom san ba boni dollars nti na okuchi na wakopɛ dollar na ɔde akɔ Turkey na wakɔkra ne amana ba ukɔye no dia okra dollar ne say me dollar ya me kra yi Kofi Mensah pɛ ama pɛ efia pɛ nti enne no mesesa dollar ba ku bia ama 3 cedis obaje ana wonje eyeye na Kofi Mensah eni ho ama eni ho na ye wo nko a anka ontumi nka nje se obaje ana wonje nti de obeya ne se oba se oh wo de ma me 20 ana ma me 2 cedi ama me 1 cedi no de ama na wokɔ but because the demand in the doors nipa dodo na per dollar no me de akɔ ama no na akɔkɔ kan ne ma benti embre bia no na dollar no sombo ana dollar no na hoɔde no ɛkɔsoro prekope esense ne a esese eye no enti nipa no kura dollar ne say nipa bebre epe enti se me de ma wo de a je se wo to no 5 cedis untumi yan wo hwe because ese utumi sesa sika no na wokɔ to niama ne free amano no eden eba enti na wo so waje wokɔ Turkey no last month wokɔ pasta na Turkey omoton pasta no $10 enti wo sesa sika na onya ebi $100 no wokɔ pasta ne mako 10 na wo de ba Ghana $10 ubedu Ghana no utua duty bibia wie no na wo so beton pasta ne mayen $12 into won fa so eye $2 ese wo san ko back to Turkey na wo to pasta ye den eba ba ye to sika no ye to pasta no wo ho in cedis nti wasan so bobo sika nyina no wenya $120 120 what if say 1200 cedis because osesa dollars no at 10 cedis. Now 10 cedis here osesa ni and they ukura 1200 cedis but oto niama no 1000 cedis and I say $100 esa wo back wo be kono afede de oton pasta wo take ne say ye ton pasta no $10 biom ye ton $20. Why? Because in the year 2022 countries be to say Turkey inflation acquire up to about 80%. 80%. What it means is that adia baku bia no moton bia no esan be bon ho mpre ohamu chichemu awotwe. Enti na de ne $1 afede be $1 80%. Enti all of a sudden pastor na okoto $10 no ukọ Turkey na ukodom say oh ye ton $10 bi mu sisi ye ton $18. Why? Because omukrom ho inflation ekọ 80%. Enti Ghana asembia nto ye o how bia maaye ntokọ bia nsi haye but how ato oman na oni omudi dwa no enti ade na woto ho no omato so niema mienu na besi de di kan esesa wo san ba fie na $100 na wo de koye na sisi a enso enti because sisi ba koye $18 sisi a wo hia $180 na wo san ba hwehwe dollar na woto 80 ka ho asa wetumi akọ Turkey akoto the same pasta na woto buy no so you realize that and ya wo man no how bia bemu Turkey ho no na how aye den ato omo but ade na wo beto free ho Ghana no ne bo akoso nti ese wo pesika ko eden ekoto nti wo kwa ye wasesa nti wase abe $3 no kwa akwa no say oh da bi o ena no buy me de ma 10 cedis but enne you know amape adwoape akoso yape nti omo mo pedoso nti me so wo ma me 12 cedis ya me fama ho eye na nka mani ho adwo ni ho akoso ni ho ena omo hia saska na kontumi nka sasa me yeden enkyerɛ nti ama $1 no ayeden asombo eye na nka wo so okoye na nka Turkey ho no ade ne bo enkosoro ena wo de same $100 ne koto ya anka wo so nsan ma ne ho e ma no so nsan yeden nka se watuma yeden ama wo enti wase akopɛ di ni bi aka ho ena wakoto no at 12 cedis ena wo de ko Turkey wakoto ni amana se aba the same pasta eduna na wakoto ye 10 na wakoto ye but you see esane say Turkey for inflation cost runti enei one koto na $100 biom what on $180 into the bag na untumi nsan ton no $12 say na ton na no biom this how the bi aka no aton be $20 so you realize that e bimpo a wa ton ade no mfa so mpo nkosoro ye but esa no how a akoso wo take nti e bi aba be kan nti enei say obi bisa wo say obi ka che wo say ye to bomb wo Ukraine and Russia endru Ghana nti memo mo nka che wo say Russia Ukraine e won so so a na or dada and I explain to you quickly. Yato emu efi Brazil. Yato esiche efi Brazil. Yeto poultry nneɛma fi Brazil. Yeto alcohol nneɛma fi Brazil. Yeto nneɛma bebree fi Brazil. 296 million. And ye pay fi my way mu. E call Brazil call nneɛma ba. Brazil nneɛma a wɔn to free ho e 9.1 million pe. Nti embre bia ye here almost 200 million a eni ho na de akoto nneɛma fi Brazil aye den. Aba. Russia baby atokwa no wo no. Yeto wheat e fi Russia. Yeto nitrogenous fertilizers fi Russia. Yeto craft paper fi Russia. Yeto hot rolled bars fi Russia. Any nneɛma bebree ni yeto fi Russia. Russia ntokwa na e wo Ukraine and Russia no. Ye nto bomb no wa ha enokre. Enso ma me cheche obibi. Esan say Russia for e ko ntokwa nti na me no ka sei. Nneɛma bebree na wokɔ wiase amansan dwa so a ye de ato Russia for so. Untumi ne omunye wei, untumi ne omunye wei, untumi ne omunye wei. Enti Ukraine iron na yeto fi ho, cold road iron na yeto fi ho, China nneɛma eni omudi dwa ene ade Brazil, Vietnam nneɛma yeto fi omo ni nyina no. Wokɔ ho a omo say ye mo na obeto no $10 anano no. Ana obeto no $5 ana $20 anano no. Yatum. Adentia oh yatum because of Russia Ukraine war. Enti war no ya nto bomb mbagana o. Ba omo oni omudi o say na Vietnam de ana Brazil de Russia Ukraine war for mo ben na Turkey mo ye no mudi dwa nti Russia Ukraine war Turkey for say oh unim say ye no ye oye obebre na ye de ye normal industries no dodo na ye tofi Russia ene ye de ba ye krom na say tumi ye de produce na waba beto na esa ne Russia ne Ukraine ntokwa nti niema ne mbase na esi ba no nti ne boa ye den aye de amayen eni nti na ye so ye niema ne boa ye den akosro. Brazil eto nitrate from fertilizer from Russia. Vietnam eto nitrate from fertilizer from Russia. As some de bedua mo asa omo mu na fifi na ye ya kwakoto. Eti some nya difficulties in buying these things from Russia into their country. Na ne bo pejape. Obviously, ebemo cost of production is why they akosro no ma pass it on to us. Omo pass it on to us cycle no and my expenditure that no. Immediately so what they are the bebo mind mu and bo be cost pe. Let's say inflation so ye dey e cost. Enti wo hwe China say ya. Niam ye to free China nkwan ye 7.9 billion in a to free China. From the year 2020 to almost about middle of 2023, China were basically shut down. From the year 2020 to almost middle of 2023, China was basically shut down. In fact, as we speak, China is not fully opened to the world as it used to be. Why? Because of COVID. And see, container na $1,000 cities, $1,000 and $1,300. No, esane COVID is in some factories no almost shut it down. Ebi mu produce just at 50% capacity. Ebi mu no mu ye nneoma ebia by 10 tons a esane COVID nti omo teso be 5 tons. Ni ade nti ukwa ade na nka okokoto ba $1 no. Esane so market production nti omo se yatum. Yatum a ade no so ye hia asoman nti ebe de ye beto. Otoba na ebedu oman nim so a ne bo be ye den. Na inflation na ye den akosro. So you realize that yen de ye ti ha yen boni bia ye. Yen ye obia boni ye. Yen ye bibia nti obia ye. But all of a sudden, you wake up one day and then challenges from another country is now affecting your economy. All of a sudden. Nancy ya, me also say mu biti ye say in sembi sisi ekoso wo eposo high seas o baby ni ade ntina ships efi Asia eba Africa no kwan yanka so mo fa so de ba no na akasaka se bi sa Iran ne Israel for akasaka se nti na wa ye hu kakra interfere mu nyina kofa kwan ten as omo to be abedu Africa. That led to a hike in cost of freight. Na just say ye shipping yama ne bo no ekoso than it was in the past. But Ghana yet ye baby ye boni bia ye simply because ye hia ade no efi China se ye kotonti ne yakoto ne bo ayede bade de aba ye de bedua na ne bo na peja boni bia ye boni bia ye obi aye boni bia ye but un kra ne ma no ntina be affected. Enam saade we nti na 2016 MPP ye bo pro nyina ye ka se debi ese ye tumi reduce ekwan ye fa so ye import ana normal dodo ye import fi abochire e bo man we mu no na dodo na ye bo modern ye wo man ni mu na only essential things are ye ntumi ye ena ye betumi akraba na eno beboa. What it means is that sika dodo a dollar dodo anka ye bepe no eso bete Now you to me use dollar no for the critical and essential things. And then we hear almost about $400 million na bosumi bi here and say to me akra fango and now fuel and oil efi abrochi abagana 400 million. Fuel is critical. Inter kwen bi aso bosumi bi say to me nya 400 million no e kwa kraba. And yet dollar na omo mo kra fuel no ehia no mo de akwa kra fuel na ba no. So mo de cedis na ekope kwa fuel station na unto fuel station with dollar auto with cedis. Enti dipo no auto no oboabo no a na okokra bi aba bi mu a this osesa wo cedis into dollars into okra cedi eso okoto dollar or so okope fuel de bi ba but ohia dollar into okọ dollar dua no so na okoto a obekọ no omo mpe toothpick per dollar omo mo pe toothpaste per dollar omo mo kra matches per dollar omo mo kra shoes per dollar enti obia per dollar no enti ka dollar ye betumi abọ ho ba na de ama oil for no kwa na nkom de aba na nka oil no kra bo no ade atumi akofem no omo pre enti na dollar for no so ya to so because obia pe enti dollar ne value no kosoro na ma osika na ho de na ba fam because ukra upeska no me wo we pe enti me se matum ompa we beje enti na matum se na me sipe be na nka me kura e na nipa no ndo so na ye wo nko ane me nko a nka wo so tumi kira wo because kura me so me nim dia me de be na nka me dia den me dia ma wo but say wo tumi build we industrial base ni ye na a stronger. What would happen is that ebeye den say usika sem no ebeye te say because niam a wo kra no bete so kododo na wo beye e wo man yim enso muntie de sie ebra ye feel independence a ye ba ye nim ni nyina ye man pani odika kwa me nkroma hyase say no esi you to be building your industrial base into hyase so or yes our industrial base ni ade SCC industries in fact key industries in manufacturing textiles agro processing as at December 31st 1981 na Ghana ye wo industries ni nyina ye free 1957 no ni nyina ye intact but a free 81 ho kono ayanom and yanom PNDC fuei ebedi yenim efri sa 81 PNDC ombedi yenim pe ena ye factories na ye intact over 300 factories ebusiafo take note Ghana between 1957 all the way to 1981 na Ghana ye were over 300 factories na muntie bibi factories we nyina were factories na online nankasa ena ye only factories no online nankasa ena ye only factories no and this is what happened from somewhere 1988 and then this for shots say omo tonton kwa me factories no then they started selling omo ton mo ho internet factory dey be fa ni aton amaye ho we dey be fa internet me say omo kana state capture no mo kra mesre on my way open political party omo boy fm pa aton omo japade amomo pa ene NDC omo wia ye nsase ewia ya dan ewia omo japade ton manufacturers mo ho the National Democratic Congress. In fact, edu baby no say me so say Ghana for bebre kai even private individuals are oma bre mo mojeni ayo mo factories any mo companies kwa no NDC for GF mo nsem and I'm sure a lot of people remember mo kai Aboagye mattress penia ono ankasa ti ono ne factory ati ono ne company omugu no ajefi factory ni free nsem okọ Ashanti region okọ Eastern region okọ Central okọ Western okọ Accra here a lot of private individuals in Nyumakra no these people they took it from them forcibly. In fact between 1988 bepem somewhere 1992 or 1993 na omaton Ghana factories nkwa be 69 omaton tono moto eno kra mbran bia nde chire omo sorry a no omo ton ne se nche nam na esichiri ene nchene e wodwa so and this is fact enti mo ndo omo yeye omo hwe no mu se ade yeye ase mbra bia nte chiri enti nkrofo start kasa ho and quickly omo call parliament and omo call pass mbra and think about listen to this for all the Gen Zs for all the millennials watching us this evening you've never heard about this please remember. So once upon a time, this country, Ghana, owned by ourselves on our own, we owned over 300 factories. and yet private person and only on mine Nankasa had 300 factories. And let it be put on record that the National Democratic Congress sold all these factories to themselves and their cronies. And by 1993, they had sold over 60 of these factories without any legal backing. So what they did quickly was to rush to Parliament to enact a law that will now give them the opportunity to sell the rest of the factories. Into Omuko Parliament, Omu passed a Divestiture of State Interest Act. In fact, it was very popular. It's a Divestiture Implementation Act. And basically what this act was doing was to give the National Democratic Congress and their cronies an opportunity to sell off all the state assets, all the state enterprises. We are demonstrating because we have the conscience of the nation, and for us, we are for the people. They are hypocrites. They sold our factories. They sold our factories to themselves. They took our lands. They took our parents' factories. They took our parents' businesses in this country. They are hypocrites. Because they realize, say, over 60 factories are in brand techenti. Passing this new law, no, they share law. Or say, Monsha de mame na baby eduru meni abre pa o pese mu. Monsha mame pa baby eduru meni abre. The Diversity Implementation Act, established on 5th January 1993, was enacted to facilitate the privatization and divestiture of state-owned enterprises in order to promote economic efficiency, encourage private sector investment, and improve overall performance of these enterprises. Inti yebeton o manager padie no ama ankrankre. Factories na na wo na eye adwuma mo mine e free independence no edu omo so no omo se ye ba beton. Omo ton bi ebi mo de factories dey sorry. Ebi mo de fact omo bu factories dey see fie. Now the object of the committee is to implement and execute government policies in respect of divestiture. The committee shall plan, monitor, and coordinate and evaluate the diversities under the act. Then, these companies now are fed here. From 1957, between 1989 and 1992, before the Diversity Implementation Act, passed in 1993, 69. Not less than 60 of these companies placed on divestiture during that regime. Most of the companies were divested at very cut down prices. In fact, almost ton factories into tomatoes and in China and in Meko. Factories are owned by the state. Almost ton here. They sold it like tomatoes. Between 1981 and 2001, MPP bar BEMU for the first time. Between 1981 and 2001, now NDC for ton Ghana have factories, over 350 factories. 350 state-owned companies were sold by the NDC government to themselves, to their cronies, and to their friends. Lest we forget about this. Lest we let this slide. We remember them. We have not forgotten about them. These same people who are here today are sanctimonious and holy, and calling our children to join them on the streets in the name of they are protecting the state assets. You know? These people sold these 350 companies to themselves. By December 23rd, 1997, Nomaton, even a lot more than that. These are some of the factories that this country had. And for us, Gen Zs, millennials, young people that never knew, I tell you that now what textiles and garment companies will be on my way. Agro processing companies will be near sugar, sugar on my way. Now, abaya kasa or factory or cement. Your aluminium products and here on my way. And chance here, the new eduane, saucepan, the new eduane there. There, yankasa or my nakasa factories, several steel products, your pharmaceutical companies will be here. Now, your mine nakasa there. Chemicals and fertilizer companies, food and beverages. In fact, a lot of you don't know, but Coca-Cola bottling company, you can't want some assets in this country. It was originally owned by the state before it was sold to an individual, and then it moved on now to become what it is today. Now you assemble cars my way. In my own constituency in Mangwase, there was a railway line and there was a car assembling plant Mangwase. They collapsed it. They sold it to themselves. Timber and wood factories, bricks and roofing sheet factories, baby, Gasem, was owned by the state. Gasem I own a gasem na ye Ghana aban ankasa factory. Gasem na ye Ghana aban ankasa factories. Kwame Nkrumah catering restaurants de bebre. Hotels bebre. Na imagine say enei say ka ye wo gasem aye your mind there anka wo gidi say enei anka omomo ye cement yi ombebo ye sudwa te so ombo ye sudwa yi anye hwe krampo no aban de say aban ankasa factory ko ade a ono atumi ka say me mfa so no matie fi ho de betumi aya cement no kwa na me na maton aye den ama wo say nei sanka gasem da so ye de ena ya nton ena anka da so ye o mine de a anka mun ye nyina be dia dance say at least government would have had a say in the prices than we have right now. At the moment, you cartel ne cabal ekoso in that sector. Your friend, we friend you we have for us here 5 cedis so. We friend we know us here 2 cedis cost so. A buying car now opposition for kwata omachi because omo petu minti. Ade a buying car say ente so no. O petu minti o say yemfa nkoso say be Ghana for be hu say akoso. But these same people are the ones who sold gasem. Gasem. Maybe a lot of you don't know, but gasem belong to the state. In our home country, omutonye. Kanda GNTC omutonye. Prestia Goldfields omutonye. Takwa Goldfields omutonye. Atlantic Hotel omutonye. Aboso Glass Factory. Aboso Glass Factory omutonye. Continental Hotel, there your friend the Golden Tulip and there and MC Assasa Nidi Eko Lancaster. Na eyo Ghana buying there. Golden Tulip. Na ye Ghana buying there. Omutonye. West African Mills Company omutonye. Tema Steel Company omutonye. Ghana Agro Food Company omutonye. Giho Bottling na omutonye na fede akwa na be Cola Bottling Company, Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Dioxen West African Company omutonye. Ghana Oil Palm Development Company omutonye. Esuchari Sugar Factory omutonye. Bogatanga Meat Processing Factory omutonye. Bogatanga Rice Mill omutonye. Kanda Match Factory matches factories there near Obi. Meridian Hotel omutonye. Star Hotels omutonye. There you na say omutonto factory no omuton mo ho. Nti 31 December on there omu chema ma no chema 31 December ma no ene otoa ne afrew yes factory there wo kade no kofa e de ma wo no webusuafo yes wo ye keda CDA wo ye CDA pani yes matches company there won Aboso Glass no de yakofa omu cheche mo ho eton mo ho meche say na efe keke diversity implementation che say niam diversity ye wo my way mo no say ye kase ye ka ho asema ewieda. But it's important that if you're Gen Z, you're a millennial, if you're a young person in this country, you remember that once upon a time, this country owned by ourselves over 300 companies, 300 factories. We're assembling cars, we're manufacturing glasses, we're manufacturing car tires, we own gold fields, we own Takwa, we own Prestia mines, we're manufacturing everything you can think of for this country. And the political party called National Democratic Congress, they sold each of these factories to themselves and their friends. When they finished, they didn't end there. They went to private people factories and businesses and took the factories and businesses for them. They took private people's properties, houses and lands away from them. Lest we forget, just in case, maybe you have not been told, but that is the reality. And these are the same people we are encountering today in this country. And no, and a more man peniko for bar bemu in the year 2001 or shall say kakra. Your boy a home na ye re-energize and ye revitalize. And ye fe, see ya ton yan factories na ye guno, na ye nam, na ye pe, ye kran ya mafia butchery, into shall say all putting your mind in place. Mobe kaya presidential special initiatives are a targeted especially agro processing, textiles, salt, and oil palm. And he did a lot of these things, you know, all this whilst he was in government. Fufu and Twata, and propaganda ya NDC for propaganda nen try no kre central ni ade omuye ya no motoaba editia MPP abane ekoye. From 2009 to 2016 they did nothing to continue what President Kufuor did in trying to ensure that we build a lot deliberate abide to have a deliberate policy to drive industrialization. They didn't do it, so they left everything to, you see, abide bia or what you run a liberal market into individuals young money, and there's no doubt about that. Abide bia you have individuals, but if you are a government that wants to catch up, a government abaya no maya obi ababeto factories mako 350 there. If you want to catch up, you have to double up and do more than what the regular country would do. And so you can't just sit there and say oh, me wa liberal market it will be abaye. What deliberate strategy, what deliberate policy do you have to revitalize your industrial base? The NDC did nothing. Then when we started campaigning in 2016, after 8 years of being in opposition and the NDC doing nothing, other than selling off the properties, selling off the enterprises, selling off the companies, the MPP government said, no, we have to go back to where Ghana was when it comes to industrialization. And you promise say, we believe say district be a raw material base be a yes shrunko to sa district there betumi aboa na sa district no yetuma ye mfidi ndwuma bi wo ho na mrante ne maba ne mebu nso eje adwuma yeden aye. So we needed to do something. And you say every district will raw material now one ye ne private sector ebeka bom na ya boa private sector no na we be see factory wo ho na say your tomatoes na wudua o ma converting into tin tomatoes, say your watermelon na wudua o ma converting into watermelon juice, say your pineapple na wudua ye dey pineapple juice. And that's what we called one district one factory. This is what our manifesto said. Flagship industrial development initiatives, one district one factory, in collaboration with the private sector. The MPP will implement the one district one factory initiative. This district industrialization program will ensure an even spatial spread of industries. Nti obi abe factory ose tema, obi abe factory ose Kumase, obi abe factory ose Takrade. Nti yan yete Damongo, yan yete Krachi, yan yete Sogakopeno, yan so ye die ewo mu ene die. Nti ye do efuo, ye te cashew ewo bia na cashew na say because factories ni ho. Nti abai say no. Kwame Nkrumah no obi oboga, obi osutware, obi okade, obi or western region, obi or central region. That is how you build an industrial base of the country. Nti ye hwene ye sign facade en mbra. Imagine say ye buy ye no na nka 300 factories no moton industry wo ho. Sanka ye bi kan ho a na nka moving ko nanim. They sold all. What it means is that na ye will say anka say to aso na ye kose no. Esan say ye mistake e dey NDC for ba mu nti no. We nyina akose. Afa na ye ba be sha ase free ha and say etuma bedu bebia. Ye ba bedu in 1988 no. Very daunting task. Very, very difficult task. It's a bind say, ye ni yankwankre beka boom, private sector beka boom. Now quickly, no, ya should see a bit to me build this enterprises now. It's the one district one factory was designed to support the establishment of at least say anya shekrampo no, ye betu me see factory bako e district BMU. And since the beginning of the program, no to date, no anya shekra nyamiada Roma 321 one district one factory projects there. A bind any ankrankre etumi aka bom e de aba ebi wo ho a or the business proposal aban me business idea die e be cost me 1 million cedis me wo 500,000 aban si okay and GCB UMB mo me ma ADB mo me ba ne besia 500,000 fanka ho na on fanko ye adwuma no na on fan bie adwuma no na all ye adwuma no no tua ne kakrakra obi so wo so aban ade na me ba be ye no me kra ne me bie fi abuchi aba machines amene beba no me wosika be 200,000 bia metumi dia ye e dan no ne ade ba machines no ehun duty ne ade ne bo e na be 2 million se wo de cheme a anka metumi de machines na ba na me dia be bia adwuma no aban se ene yenko na yen fanche na kofa bra nti government is supporting in several ways to ensure say this private sector would thrive. As we speak, one district one factory projects are ye adwuma 169 factories. 169 factories. One district one factory project yegusu a yesi a yenwie ye 152. And in total no, government in collaboration with private sector has about 321 factories ongoing and as completed in this country. And factories ni bi wo ho a factory bi e wo ho dada. Na obi wo ho a na ye ho ba or struggle the factory no yegu onya ahoden na obetumi dia run factory no into ohia aban boa na aban asodase aboa no omo no moye brownfield for no na aban yetumi aboa na wetumi aye na dwuma no obi so wo ho a idea no wo osi o e pese me kɔ na me kɔ si shoe factory e wo ekropon shoe factory e bi mba ekropon da ɛhɔ ekua permanent ne ɛwɔ me nyinaa bɛpɛ mu nɛ until ye bie shoe fabric na me hu factory kra say ya sorry a yɛkɔ factory da aban say okay mɛboa wo aban boa wo we bie factory no eti okeka ni nyinaa bomu a ɛyɛ adwuma na 169 for example company bi te sɛ kasa preko ɛwɔ dada but ɔwɔ spintex ɔyɛ ebia 20 cartons because ɔyɛ 20 cartons a month ɔsɛ oh sɛ aban wo boa me na yɛ ka bomu a metumi bie another factory ewo Kumase na eno nso ma ye another ebia 20 cartons aka ho aban se ene ma yen support ne yen ka bom ne ye nti kasa preko ye bi another one ewo ho Dako farms ye yem se Dako farms na egu struggle but market ne wo ho Dako farms aban me show wodim se Dako farms de na ka ejire na so sisi ye ntumi ye adwuma biem yen ka bom ne ye bibi aban Dako farms aka bom ya revive Dako farms ene Dako farms ye nkokɔ e de bi ma KFC into chicken popcorn ne streetwise 2 ne streetwise 3 na yeto KFC no nyame adaroma Dako farms nkokɔ ka ho na yewe. That is how government is working with private sector to bring back the factories that anka yewa anka ebetumi ebi aka wan NDC for ton no to bring it back. There egusu a yenya nwie no so no ho in all no 321 of these factories. Now 2018 na yayebe 79 no na 21 year in operation 41 under construction na 17 guswa year prepare aba. As we speak now Greater Accra in total no there was 64 of these factories are year juma operational 22 under construction. In Greater Accra were 86 of these factories. Ashanti region 31 of the factories are operational, 27 under construction, 58 in total. Eastern region 27 operational, 17 under construction, 44. Into every region beyond ne total number of factories are the area the ekoso ginano the entire list kura factory no so their factory no ye available. Put all out there for everybody to go and read and appraise yourself with what is happening. And so this is the breakdown of this in all no 1D 1F are buying shares here. Yempo. I think yemu beye fapeno. And name no say direct employment about 25,000. Indirect employment about 144,000. Direct employment in a business be accountant, a be operations manager, machine operator, obi or marketing person. Omo direct. Indirect ones when say a confused juice. And ne okwe kumfia. Omo meno kase adiasa so ten share that say I want a pineapple farm upon a dorsal because adiachia a confused juice for a better pineapple no. Now a confused juice a chim pineapple no e dey juice near Tombi Ghana near the Bikwa Brochiri and now ko Walmart shop BMO America obeko na confused juice esi ho a ye ton. NDC tried selling Edi boka Commander Sugar Factory. Commander Sugar Factory da NDC for year no. Omo asi factory no mo anso omo say good factory no. Factory o si area a on operate here no. E na osan de osan pekwan bi aton. Factory ya wo si wo operate here. Ense na wo pekwan bi so ayeden aton no. I don't know what is it about them and Eton. And that's why when I hear them talk about state capture, I find it laughable. Me, I don't even listen to them. Me say, so we pe party on my bomb mind we via on mind we japade in sase adan factories are factories, companies are companies. Ah, there ya kwan say, and so more fa de keke say bi omo de ma ordinary Ghanaians omo ton mo ho a any NDC omo ton 350 factories. And they afa na ban aba ye ne Ghana for nti aban beton ye through the diversity 350 factories aban wo aban e wo factories na ye cement gasem na aban dia aban e wo factories na ye glass aban aboso glass factory aban wo factory na ye matches Kade Match Company Limited aban wo factories na e assemble cars ye wo VW cars na ye assemble wa ha aban wo factories na ye tomatoes aban wo factories na ye nyoma bebre no omo begu no nti eneyi 321 ekoso nka NDC for ambegu sa 350 ya nton amomo ho a nka Ghana ebetu ya kase o yenya bia ba beka ho but omo gu nti no we have to go and start from afresh all over again, and that's why you see all these videos are abaya shas here or yen nkakra. It's difficult. They've taken us really far. Omo de ya kwechire, but ye gidi say ehun be hia say e be shas here than say e be trans ne ye ho hwe. Nti nei say wo sa number of factories say any ankrakra kabomu a ye de aba na eye progress. E say e bo ho ban na you pursue even a much more radical industrialization drive. Nti efi 2018 2019 ekono na nado shase say or commission a lot of these factories, a lot of them. Nanado commissions $35 million 1D1 pharmaceutical factory in Nungo Pram. Nanado commissions 10 million cassava and yam processing factory in Karachi East. Timber processing factory commissioned in Central Farm Plains. Shoe, garment and 5 other factories newly commissioned by Ekufuado. Where Kwaso factory, Premium Foods Company Limited. Nanado a commission Kama. Repart Loop factory. Nanado a commission. These are factories and Nankagana will be that. Now it will be that, but 350 of them omoton ni nyina ndc for beton ni nyina ne will be that bomb beton ni nyina upbep cylinder limited nanado a commission here a Kumfi fruit juice limited nanado very Kumfi there sisi na ye superstar brand because uko wiase afa na nyina bibia obefe bia no a Kumfi you can find it on the shelves. Oko Walmart, ube say Kumfi, oko shop bia you see a Kumfi there, and it's very important, an extremely important point to make. Say, it's son in another danko Ekufuado intervention or ye into the knee. Ube a Kumfi juice everywhere that you go across the country, and in all of this, the key objective here is to ensure say. No matter do I crano, ye be no ma bebre, need to me reducing your ma ye cra, and a cylinder, and now we need to hear, and a cylinder ewo on my way. Hitherto, ne be ni hosa. Na, and ya dear you will be, esa ewo my way, kakra near one, NDC for eguno. There's a video on premium foods. We shall boss our video, the mommy quickly. Near share what the premium foods company and our factory, is made up of. And contributing their quota. And need Dako farms, Oko KFC, and I'm now aware no. Dako farms no more MOU, and omu kunkoko, edema KFC. Emma KFC the ehwe enwama yenyina etumi nyebere. Now there's this video on Dako farm minim say oh wa mombona yenhwe because Dako farm say Emma no ye papa no we fie de media dance say it was very popular in our days. And the good news is that Dako farms is back and there are young people, young women, young girls, young boys, young men who are working in this factory and providing to feed this country. Mumbosa video no mind yenhwe ntia wa nembra.
In this edition on business, once the largest chicken producer in West Africa, jaundiced by financial constraints and expansion fatigue, Dako Farms has now been revitalized under government One District One Factory program with a re-injection of 22 million cedis in capital from the Ghana Exim Bank. Is confident that the production capacity will shoot up by nearly half, from 4 million day-old chicks a year to 7 million when the new equipment is installed.
For some time now, we were off the radar, and all the infrastructure was available. Infrastructure which was built since 1967 was still there. We have the farmhouses, we have the hatchery house, we have the processing house, we have all those facilities were there. But the advantage that we had was we didn't need to go and buy land, we didn't go and put in new structures. We just needed a little bit of finance and to bring in new equipment and to augment the production, and that is what has happened, and that's what that's the impact that is made to us.
In 2018, Ghana imported over 500,000 broiler day-old chicks and 7 million layer day-old chicks. Currently, there is limited regulation on local hatcheries. The government of Ghana is yet to pass into law a hatchery bill which will ensure that quality day-old chicks are produced from domestic hatcheries.
na me judge there in my papa purely easy Ghana ye anything that and ne or drive 4x4 and ne o si story building or say a kumfia sase abeye sikankwa. This can only be achieved by a visionary leader, visionary leadership, by a political party that thinks and cares about the people. Tamana Rice Factory, and a Mushi, and no, a agro processing factory, a Northeast region, and no Kwame no Kasi, Oma created about 4,148 jobs. Omo rice, a woho, nti omo mo omo ye ni bi, eni mesoma ya mo ntobi, ontomo ni bi, emaye na emo mo adwuma no entumi enkoso. Such a maize processing factory, and no such a Central Ashanti region, Geop cassava processing center, and no Western region. Now, say a to the beer, you can't say when I say, ye crown so young canny year, or how we say, your boy wants something to do, especially when you were genuine problems and so our mind. And no credit. There were very, very genuine challenges and difficulties at the moment, like every other country is going through. But it does not change the fact that between the MPP and the NDC, NDC sold 350 companies owned by the state, cement factories, glass factories, matches factories, car assembling factories, car tire processing factories, mining firms, hotels. Some movie broker munim say TV3 kwa na ya bind there. TV3 na friend Ghana Film Company Limited na ya bind there. And this is for ton ye. No mo san feature no mo asen akoto. Nti na meka say omo aton ye. No mo asen feature no mo asen akoto station no. That is how bad they run this country. Nti we understand. Yejitum said there are difficulties, Yejitum said there are challenges, Yejitum said we are in very difficult times. But there's a big difference between the MPP and the NDC, and the difference is in the scorecard. In fact, omo ankasa ubi so omo abe catch us a factory so omo ye and number 5. E to be omo di bi akeka ho, we no kra we have sense 90 we no kan aka ho, but there yemfa ne nyina mo. This is our industrialization scorecard. Projects completed and operational 2017-2024 169. Projects completed and operational under NDC AF5. Projects under construction 152 for MPP, 0 for NDC. 321 industrial, deliberate industrial projects and are buying any private sector akabomwa omoye. Omame come assembly quickly. Every government has private sector already moving on its own. In Tenemeno Kasi, your factories be bria. Ankrankwe si wo man yimu a ewo across the country endorse bebree and cut 321 no enka ho factories are individuals BSC a omode bebree across the country and cut 321 no and now come yami krom yensi so a there's an oil processing plant bia ekoso ewo ho enka one district one factory ho there are several companies several factories ekoso enka one district one factory under every government there are individuals going through it. But there is something called deliberate. What said that to was a say now what 300 factories say to make us say a year sanema we are and this is for beton. How do we build ourselves back? Deliberate government policy to ensure that we deliberately drive industrialization with specific interventions and incentives to get these factories running. No? This is the NDC scorecard. That is the MPP scorecard. And Yamina Meka NDC Frankasa Lesti Omunio Maye. Omo Manifesto 2016, almost say over the last 4 years, our industrial development strategy has aimed at linking industrialization to Ghana's natural endowment. This strategy has recorded significant achievements, including the establishment of the following: Commander Sugar Factory. They built it, and then Omo San Koyese, Omo Kwakotong. Let us put it on record. This factory that they have here has never been operated, never worked under them. Right when they were in office, factory you see here. Omo nyam use ye kwa omo putting on sale. Kumasi shoe factory. Omo be revive ye no. Omo sign egu nansa omo ko. Omo the Ghana gas nyina aka ho. Awan ya de Voter Star Textiles Japan. Savannah Cement Factory, ceramics manufacturing, ehiem. Almost say revamp to. Okay, ate. I'm sorry revamp boss. Nti omo nyina we nyina your factories. Ate ase. This is their scorecard. This is the NPP's scorecard. 169 operational, 152 under construction, 321 projects in all, and this is the NDC's scorecard. And yemena meka omo document and echre the omo so omo baye den omo aye. Now 1D1F no basically me no ka say the amount of money are buying their shim e dia boa nkran ne ade support your and almost about 3 billion from participating financial institutions. 3 billion obi wo ha no den proposal ba na ban ade akọ na bank na boa na bank na mom besi adom de aye. This includes a total of 451 million to 12 1D1F companies or more pharmaceutical sector. In the pharmaceutical sector no nko no about 451 million and a ban Aboagye Momo and a 581 million to 48 1D1F companies in the agro processing sector. Inti omo ye fruit juice, omo ye tomatoes, omo ye de omo canning e menema omo agro processing and so a buy a support omo 582.1 million through the financial institutions now buying e ma ankran kre kofa so egisika e de hye omo enwuma mu no. In all no 1D1F projects and that's a program where no about 169,000 jobs. We share papa your kasa your CNA or drive 4x4. Papa your kasa your CNA or see a brosign away confi. Papa your kasa your CNA is sunny a confi juicer, a buy confetti, or also with too many juma or ya. It tells you the impact this 1D1F enya a war and soon so enya almost. Our scorecard is here and our scorecard is speaking for itself. And this is for the normal year, and I keep saying, please, let's take note. I say deliberate government strategy and policy to drive industrialization. Until there is a liberal market, it will be a CB. And you know what's happening here. And craft factories so see across the country and cut 321. We a deliberate program 1D1F. Omo can program no buying a support you mono. In Numa creating here, and this is for DNA 558 and it to me a provider. And in all of this, you know, I buy anka say asowa. I buy sanso call back and say ba post independence, you know. Na baby a Ghana ya kwa kodo ni baby na media. I think we should have been doing better than we are now. Inti cars ya na ya assemble wo man yimu a egu ye VW and ya assemble ya NDC for beton mo ho ni ade no. How do we revive this? And then Nana Dodan Kweku Fado buying started what they call the Ghana Automotive Development Program. E kwambe na ebe faso a ye bema Ghana ababeye biaya Africa and West Africa. Omo ye cars, assemble cars akese Nissan, Toyota, VW, ni ade no betumi de ha ayo mo bia yo mbe yo madwuma na ban shase nti Nissan ebe commission assembly plant whatever. I mean no say it's currently the largest vehicle assembly plant under the program. And in all there are 5 vehicle assembly or 5 companies omo assemble cars across the world omo ba Ghana ha omo ye adwuma ebi nie VW, Volkswagen, Toyota, Nissan, Sino-Truck. Once I say, "Unama cars akase tipa trucks." We say Sino-Truck for assemble am cars no. Ya Kantanka automobile company. Or no so assemble no nam kroma. Kantanka Dachin, Kantanka Dai so Kantanka cars. Kama. Ni nam kroma buying aswada se aboa abie kwebo mana sa automobile industry sigina aba. In addition to sa automobile programming so no, aban e develop components manufacturing policy and no ebehwe na spare parts ne car no ho bolt and nota and no so be say no aban aboa no mahwe me kase me chewo. And I keep saying it. Me say see a toswa DNDC for echi na see e bi di omo kasa de echi no mo kontompo no mo ntro ene kasa entro e fata no kra ne ade omo ya ne ade na we are going to send this country back all the time. And there you say maybe a best send aban way or my way back no it will take MPP to come back and come and elevate it. And then we are talking about VW. Guess what? This is a newspaper that is reporting about VW. Omo agent wo omanyimu a omo assemble cars. Kowus Motor Assembly Industries Limited, Accra. Omo assemble cars ewo my way mu in 1976. Cowes Motors Limited will retail VW vehicles and provide service according to VW audit standards throughout the Republic of Ghana, with adequate supplies of VW spare parts and all the way, which will be available soon in Accra on 24th June 1976. Crowes Motor Assembly Industry Limited will assemble VW and Audi passenger cars and light commercial vehicles under an assembly license agreement with VW AG. Assembly plants of Crowes Motor Assembly Industries Limited are under construction in Accra and Tema. The first commercial vehicles to come off through the line towards the end of the year, that is in 1976. Ombeguru. Yanum Gunu. And as we speak in the year 2020, 1976 factory nearby and NDC for Begunu. Nana Danko Kufado, MPP Abai Asai Akofaba. Nissan follows VW in starting car assembly. Intene Nissan cars yewaha. Ya assemble cars ibiwaha. VW cars ya assemble biwaha. Toyota cars ya assemble biwaha. Kantanka di ewum. Sino truck di ewum. Factory na ewo omanyi mu a ene. Nissan car ya ushe kama Ghana heya na yeye no. Aheya Ghana ni de jina ho a oyeyi. Nyuma eba. Ebia kwama we kama. This is a vehicle, a Toyota vehicle assembled in this country. This is the Ghana we are building. This is the next chapter of Ghana's industrialization drive. Now, Mobeka say about when we're doing the first two episodes on education, no, you share how Abai a peja Ghana former through TVET education to make sure say, sir, industrialization drive here they can be part. I don't know if we have the video on the automobile development program. If we do, then I'll suggest say we play that video and then your boss that video we are now for the your boss TVET fact say TVET machine room no kakrebi for us to see how this government is preparing the young Ghanaian for the future. Because papa ya abrante kama ya oboa ahwe na ya build it, ya assemble design car we. I say Ghana phone call bebre nso nya sa kwai no. But let's watch this video first. Ya hwe Ghana develop Ghana automobile development program video no first. Ya hwe wi a na fe dia behwe TVET video no.
We wish to start production here, to expand it and grow it is our wish.
Our country joins the enviable League of Nations assembling Toyota and Suzuki vehicles. By assembling and ultimately producing cars in Ghana, new and highly skilled jobs are being created. The use of foreign exchange to import second-hand vehicles will be reduced. And at the same time, the exports of made-in-Ghana cars to other African markets will earn our nation much-needed foreign exchange. The vision is to make Ghana a fully integrated and competitive industrial hub for the automotive industry in West Africa, and we are very much on course. This facility has already offered some 334 employment opportunities to young Ghanaian graduates from our tertiary institutions across the country, notably from the University of Ghana, the University of Cape Coast, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the George Grant University of Mines and Technology, and some other technical and vocational institutions.
Inti wa ohwe factory na say assembly plant a ene Ghana ha ya nkasa yetube nya hokwan ya yehye ya ye cars e wo my we mu a the last time we experienced this was as far back in the 80s and this for beton ye e de ma omo ho egu bebre na. And after years, after close to over 30 years, without this industrial base, we are back at it again, and Ghana is back in business to take on the world and be part of the competition in the global market. We have to protect this. I see a boy who buying. I can't be a better so a protect this our legacy way. I see a protector. Na dia car no kre yentumi yeye no yetumi nya ho kwan akwakoye den akodi ekire enti yebedi kasade efi yanom achi ne yasai we enti yebedi yanom entro ne nkontompo a ese no kre echi ne yasai adefefe yi ana yebedi omachi na yato we nyina egu na yakwakofa den. The Ghana Automobile Development Program ayehwe must be completed. Five manufacturing companies, 5 automobile manufacturing companies. Companies makumako enuma almost share cars in a nay omoba omayimi. Oti humpeni nsem da ben. Oti bi da ben. Senka Ghana anka yenso yensa eni hwan. Say company bi te Toyota beka say me babe manufacture car no Ghana. Anka yenso yensa eni hwan. Say company bit is a Nissan beka say me babe manufacture e wo Ghana. Aka yenso yes no one say company bit is a VW beka say me be manufacture e wo Ghana. The next chapter of Ghana's economy is an amazing one, and we must protect the fundamentals. You see a body e yam no bai. Ade ye hyehyɛ ye nya hyehyɛ nwie. Nti ehu behia pa say ye nyina ye beka ye ho abom ni aka say an the air in a dorsal, the aka, and soon as I say, ye in a dorsal. But passing a bit jay and the pay him, ne aquacofa, or man penny dada or buy ya, Sanyama, we went to me who went to me who dies, who be I am my paddy. Alabraca. Yema or before France or quine. No, so need the cacao bit me, on ye my. I think, say, that would be the way to go for us as a country. Ene ya shase ye be export bi free ha akọ other African countries, other nearby countries. In kakran ye build ye ho. Kakran ye koye nim. Eye enanka VW ye shase 1976 engu NDC fo amba beguna anka nei anka ye VW asem ne ye ka anka ye ka VW any additional ones. But we say for the ABN, we have to go and start from scratch because base in Ankasano, almost say no. VW for there and a mushy. VW for factory or Ghana, or manufacture, more assemble Ghana, more assemble cars, or Ghana and a mushy. Ghana Mrantier and a work factory more or more ye, you might owe me. Car ya when you tree a car, ye manufacture, assemble a Ghana ha. She ewo Ghana ha a Ghana form ma ene Ghana form rantie ene ekura ejina ho a omo hyehye ka yi from scratch. We na ka ehunu no China wo. We na ka ehunu no China. Na ka ehunu no South Korea. Na ka ehunu no Japan. Atanei he ka yi ɛna yɛhyɛ ase na sɛ ne kora ne yɛafa yɛde kɔ akɔsi hɔ fresh ne yɛade foforɔ yi. We have come far. We have gone really far as a country. But we still have a lot more to do. And what we are asking is, let's complete what we are doing whilst we pursue what is outstanding. Yen to me sound called rescue. Inti de bia ne yebeba beye ne yeba ye mama be say na. The NDC came to power and they sold off 350 of these factories. Why would we put this in their care again? Na say ye mistake near side the way come mom. No mo say na tete pansamuna. Na ye be san so atu afre MPP ma ya be biom na ya se abehya se. Enti le tori bi ya ye ba ye bere ye ho ye dwuma so na fe edu be bi ya wa ya nso de ye hu because tokro na da ho ne wa. Enti wo ye adwuma gum. Parce ye ma ye ho kwan. Na ye ma Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia toa so. Na offer free baby ye gire sisi ya. You can imagine where we are going to go as a country. This is the first VW car you assemble in Ghana and omobie HACCA. This is the next chapter of Ghana's development that needs to be protected. And we have to do everything as a people to protect this legacy and protect this that we are building. Meshemo se TVET video no I ready. Momembo TVET video no. Na yenhwe how the TVET is connected to the automobile companies. You know? It's very, very important. It's young man or vocational and technical school. And they share picture or no sign track for tracks you or she has a decision. We are mushe and your factory now muhu we are TVET classroom in a motion. We in your factory now muhu ye no. We a Ghana secondary school, technical school workshop na motion no. Inti sa wotena se din na wodwen ho a wotumi hu baby aban ne ɔman no ɛkɔ sɛ factories enumaba a ɔmo hyehyɛ cars. Inti yen training yen kwala no nso nye ready. Obewie school no ne baby ɔkɔ. Look at this. Da ben na wote mu mpeninsɛm da. Da ben na hu da sɛ factory workshop bi eti say da ben na hu say factory bi eti say ewo workshop bi eti say ewo TVET secondary school workshop na wo hwe. And all government is doing is to prepare yan kwala no so that factories here abeyi a omo hyehyɛ cars yi omo benya human resource a ebeyi adwuma ewo sa factories rim. And guess what? Abanya manensi wow. Abanya say see yama secondary schools, technical schools na ye say dia. Yam pe kwan bi so yama universities no so and ye ready. Say na be yan kola ni free ha no mo kwa university no. Enti mo me hwe partnership a University of Ghana and Toyota Ghana Limited aye. And engineering school a mo si a omo de prepare yan kola ye mo fit TVET ya akọ no mo wi a omo ye ready prekope for the factories. Mo me hwe University of Ghana any Toyota engineering school no.
The University of Ghana School of Engineering Sciences now has a $1 million state-of-the-art training center. The project, jointly undertaken by the University of Ghana and Toyota Ghana, is expected to provide hands-on skills for engineering students at the university. Inaugurating the facility in Accra, the Minister for Education, Dr. Yao Sedichum, emphasized the importance of STEM education in the country's development agenda.
This Skills Training Center has 3 modernized lecture rooms, a computer-aided design room with 40 computers and a 3D printer. The facility also has space for training workshop with automobile simulators, spare parts shop, vehicle delivery center, test rigs, alternators and vehicle hydraulic lifts. Under the agreement, Toyota Ghana will provide engineering equipment worth $2 million over a period of 10 years, as well as $100,000 scholarships for brilliant but needy students. Mr. Koji Yanaka is the managing director of Toyota Ghana.
We are confident that this training facility will serve as a catalyst for positive change, equipping students with the skills and knowledge they need to thrive in the future.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Nana Abba Apia Amfo, said the center would bridge the gap between academia and industry.
This significant investment by Toyota Ghana Company Limited will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in shaping the future of engineering education, not only at the University of Ghana, but throughout the country and even beyond.
The Minister for Education, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, was delighted about the collaboration and encouraged other educational and research institutions to follow suit.
So I'm happy to tell you that the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is giving a strong boost to STEM education. Next academic year, a number of high schools in this country are going to do engineering sciences. So by the time they get to you, they are ready for you.
Toyota Ghana also provided the university with a 30-seater coaster bus for transportation of students.
The University of Ghana School of Engineering Sciences now has a $1 million state-of-the-art training center. The project, jointly undertaken by the University of Ghana and Toyota Ghana, is expected to provide hands-on skills.
We in Ghana dache. You can clearly see where the government is going. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say, Yashisha Kolani Technical School no. Amana board modern workshops are. Ye chiro car assembly no at the technical level at the secondary school. You really no. Ya peja ko universities no. University of Ghana dia mushwe no kwa. Oko whole technical university a. Ya konso University of Ghana ye Toyota ne University of Ghana. Whole technical university so Nizan any whole technical university so will be wo hosa omudi training technical students no mo whole technical university no. The Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Ekenyina and say, let's position ourselves for the next chapter to ensure say a lot more of these manufacturing companies will come into Ghana. These cars will be available for Ghanaians to buy. And it's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Eka the credit scoring system no and one seven no. Say, baby I kokodri, baby I Ghana card ababedri, baby I digitalization ababedri, baby I yet to me a first ya synchronize Ghana card with their financial services. Baby, your credit scoring system, you are building up no. The next chapter of Ghana's development, and they say, you bring the credit system, cars way, you be to me the amount, they will train in kakra, to send a year in America, to send a year UK, to say a year Europe, baby, ano. And that is the next chapter of Ghana's development. We have to be ready for it. The cars are here, the factories are there, they are assembling the cars. Our children are being trained to be ready to assemble at the technical level, at the secondary school level, at the university level. The engineering students are doing real-time engineering on these cars. These cars have been manufactured. We have a digitalized financial services, formalized one, connected to our national identity system, which is helping to build our credit scoring system. And so we are ready for the next chapter. And that next chapter is what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is preaching. Say, Ghana ni bia baby awu bia wobetumi afa wo card na wako wo bank ana wako baby esese ukubia na wako any car trading company waka che ne say this is my credit scoring. I think say oma me car year metumi tua ne nkakra na esa ne say yetumi build your credit scoring system na baby abedu baby hedrunti the automobile company and the automobile trading company no ebe hwa wo credit scoring system no na or the car na maw na wotua na nkakra yenso Ghana ebetumi enya opportunity ama Ghana ni bia nso etumi etena tie rubber car mu enya broche fon kwa na etumi tire mu ema ne yeye enye second hand ne kwa na ebetumi atire mu. The cars are being manufactured here, our young people are being trained here, our tertiary students are being trained here, the jobs are being created for the young people, and the cars would also be available for us as Ghanaians to drive without difficulty. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia etu no hwesi ho say ogidi agitum say baby e pese ye ko asoman no ye nyendro ho ye ba de ba ko pedonim ade bia oman bia timemufo nyina beka omuti eno madwe no makoma bom so mpese omo ye no omuto omu husi ho na omunya kendini a owo nukredie owo nyamesuro owo opepa eni akomapa ewo oman no dia oman ne pese omo ye nyina omutumi ye. And that is why he's moving around this country preaching possibility. Say the dieso ene adwempo e woda ne tirim no eye dieso a wan hwe ni ya obefi se eso but you say you do baby as say you to me a think big and I say in your die so and in his view all things are possible. Not just Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia who is saying this, but it is even biblical. Yay Ghana ya sitire mu kra no ye nyina agitu mu se usom na meso mesomu a na nyina epia kwa de pese ye bia yetumye. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is preaching possibility on the back of commitment and dedication and the hard work of the Ghanaian citizen, and he believes that with that commitment and with only leadership qualities of dedication, truthfulness and honesty no de pese ye bia asoman bia ye betumi aye yema no kwan yema na akonya yema ono nso Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ne dia obetumi aye no yema no kwan on 7 December 2024 no nso meye ne die ne yenhwe ye ko ye